You see, now I'm telling you one interesting thing. That though I was born in Bombay, because my father Goa was under Portuguese. There were no jobs there. The Christians used to go to cities and work as cooks, and women used to work, Christian women, as servants. Hindus had no jobs, so my father came to Bombay, and he was not much educated, only Marathi, but he got a job in telephone company. We were all born there. Then war started, Second World War. I was only at that time 7 years old. And notice came, police in Bombay, that all people have to vacate, because any time Japan and Germany can bombard, like Calcutta. So we went to Bombay, and I spent whole childhood in Goa at that time. So there I had already some very good experiences. That means it was in my destiny. Last life something was there. For example, as a boy of 6 or 7 years old, I used to roam about, and I could hear woodpecker birds, his sound 1 mile, 2 miles away. These are some of the experiences. And then when I finished my architecture, and when I was studying architecture final year, 5 years course in Bombay. Final year when I was studying, already my mind was divided between table tennis and architecture. I used to go and practice table tennis at 4 o'clock in the morning, because there will be no crowd. Then I failed in the 4th year only, 5-year course. Failed in 4th. My father used to inquire that other college students have got a lot of homework, and you never seem to be doing any homework. Father didn't know I am spending my time on table tennis tables. I used to tell him, oh, architecture is not like other course. Only what you do there is all right. That is morning 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Then when I failed in 4th year, my father said that now see the result. You said there is no homework, and you didn't do any homework, and you failed. So father said, better leave that and take a job. Family has no money. No, I said, give me a chance. And then I stopped table tennis and started concentrating on studies. At that time, suddenly, while going to college, I had a bus stand. There are always a newspaper and small books they sell at the bus stand, because people are waiting, they purchase a newspaper. I saw a photo, small book, which Aurobindo's photo on it, young days photo, and I felt attracted. That my feeling attracted to Sri Aurobindo was actually, as he says in Synthesis, that it is the divine that attracts you, and you feel that you have been attracted. But it is Sri Aurobindo who had awakened my consciousness that you are supposed to spend your life in Pondicherry and not in Bombay as an architect. That was the turning point. And I immediately, every 6 months I used to take 10 days leave. 4 days for traveling by train and 6 days staying in the ashram. Seeing mother every morning, balcony darshan. Mother is going to here and there. Mother is sitting in the playground, meditation time. So many mother's darshans, one after another, that period of my coming. Later on, mother stopped when she developed a knee problem. She stopped balcony darshan. And then later on she came to the terrace darshan. That is only rare occasion. But the mother's one birthday darshan, though I had only 6 or 7, after I settled in 1965 to 73, Mother in between was not very well for 2 years, no darshan for anybody. That period when I went to the mother for my birthday, I saw the mother not like our human eyes will see, because from her eyes where lights were emitting, as if it is something, a machine is there with so many bulbs and so many lights. Mother had become full of light emitting from her body. That I had experienced on one of my birthday darshans. This was an extraordinary occult phenomenon. But the other phenomenon is that when I was first 2 years given work in a guest house, I told Madhav Pandit that I would like every day to write Savitri in a special book nicely, and he had taken it to the mother and she had signed it also to encourage me in writing Savitri. Now here Pranabda Chandubai left tennis and table tennis. Pranabda gave me table tennis charge and gave it to Vishweshwar tennis charge. And Pranabda took my photo. Pranabda told Gangaram, take his photo playing table tennis. We'll give in bulletin.
Which year it was?
Which year? 1968.
68?
68. Corners was just started.
Okay. And you first visited Ashram which year?
First visited 1 month full I stayed here. That was the first supramental manifestation.
1956?
No, 1956 it descended. Leap year, so February 1960. That was the first leap year, so I came and stayed 1 month here, that period. And then just before going back, 2 days we were supposed to go back on 2nd March. And I went to Amritada and told him that Amritada was manager of the ashram since he was a boy, trusted by Sri Aurobindo and the mother fully. So I told Amritada that I am going on 2nd March. Can you arrange for me personal darshan of the mother? Pranam to her. He said, what, you have not seen the mother so many times? I said, I have seen her at least 40-50 times in that stay. But I said, that is not the same thing as going to the mother personally. He said, now you want, but that depends on what mother says. You write on a notebook, you write on a paper and request the mother herself that you want to come to her for personal pranam. So I wrote the lines I still remember. What I wrote there was that the very thought of coming to you for your pranam has given me so much happiness. Very thought that if I get an opportunity to personally come to you, it will be a great thing for me. And he sent it up. And he doesn't interfere with the mother, totally surrendered like Champaklal. So mother wrote, tomorrow morning 10 o'clock. I am nobody and mother is calling me. So 10 o'clock I went up, I climbed half the staircase and Champaklal is waiting at the landing, first landing. And then Sri Aurobindo's room start. And Champaklal is telling me, come, mother is waiting for you. I thought there will be many people, but only mother. Mother is sitting on a chair there and waiting for me. So then I went inside and it is automatic that you don't want to do anything. You want to put your head on her feet. And then she puts her hand on your head and it changes your destiny. This is what happened in my case. And then every 6 months I am coming and pressing Madhav Pandit. I don't want to live outside. I want to join here. He says, let us see if an opportunity. He was secretary that time and all guest houses were under him. Madhav, he was not going to America here there that time. So he said, let us wait, opportunity must come. And after 6 years, when I am working in an architect's office, very top office in India, I had to go to Delhi, Bangalore, Madras, everywhere in aeroplane with my boss for doing architecture work. And a telegram came to me that mother calls you immediately. Immediately. I went to the boss architect and told him, this has come, so I am going tomorrow. I have not to inform my parents or somebody, I have to go back. He said that you are working in such a big office, things are done in a practical way. You have to give a proper resignation letter, then we'll calculate how much money is remaining for you, we can give you that amount, and we close down, but it will take 1 week. So I sent a telegram to Madhav that the office said they can release me after 1 week. So Madhav's reply came, if you wait for 1 week, you will miss the job. You will miss the opportunity. I showed to my boss, this is the reply. Boss said, what to do? You go. We can't give you any money or anything, we cannot settle here. And I went home and we were taking food, my mother is giving food to everybody, my brother, sister, they are all small, younger than me. I didn't tell my mother anything. And after food, I had already booked ticket for Pondicherry. And I came to Pondicherry and then sent a telegram to my father that I have settled here in Pondicherry. Then my mother came with one sister was married her husband to take me back. Then Madhav Pandit called me from and said, see, your mother has come to take you back. If it is left to you, you want to go back, you can go back. I said that after so much struggle I have come here, but your mother is weeping in my office, he says. So he brought me to, then he suggested Madhav Pandit. He said, let your mother at least have a darshan of the Divine Mother. So he went upstairs and talked to the mother that Ramakant's mother has come with somebody. If you give them your darshan, they will be at least satisfied. So they went up and they came down and my mother said that we go, you stay here. See how the Divine Mother works on the consciousness of a person.
That was which year?
1965. I had settled here, 10 February 1965. And then 2 years Madhav Pandit had found that Goyal was running a non-vegetarian guest house for the mother, the same line, number 10 house. It was on lease, it was not ashram building, lease for a few years. And Goyal, who was a hotel owner in Darjeeling and expert in cooking, was running it. For special guests, foreigners and Indian top people, council, these, that, top people, only to stay there. I worked there for 2 years, 20 hours job per day. Work was not 2 hours or 3 hours work, 20 hours work. What work was there? At night, first I had to learn how to non-veg. They are all top class people. They are served food in 6 courses. First course soup, then this, then that, then that, then the 6th course of sweet or ice cream. So how to lay the tables? Every course you have to withdraw the dishes, and one course needs fork, another course needs spoon, another course needs something. I learnt all that how to serve them on a guest house. And then at night after the dinner they go back to their rooms, all the guests. I had to go up to every room with a small diary and write down. Here, I had to go and knock the door. Sir, what time you want your early morning tea? Bed tea, as they gave here. Then that person will say, I want at 5:30. So I had to write the name. This person name XX, he wants at 5:30. I had to go to 7-8 rooms and in my diary for next morning. Next morning I had to go to the kitchen and wake up the cook. Wood firing. Kitchen was not using gas because gas cooking, meat, chicken, everything is not as tasty as wood fire cooking. So wood fire with chimney, old houses, chimney for the smoke to go. So morning I had to wake up the cook. I still remember the names of the cooks those days. And then the cook will start tea. And every morning it was not the cook who was carrying the tea. I myself used to carry a tray and knock and give to every guest. Because of that I came to know many top people. Like people were coming, Aurobindo project was just started, Nata was coming, Nata who did the first road towards Matra Mandir from the public highway. Like top people were coming there and every night Satprem was not well. Mother had advised Satprem that Goel will supply you chicken soup every night to recover from his health. Adventure of consciousness, supreme. And every day, every evening, 6:45, I had to cycle from Rue Souffrin to Madhav Pandit's house beside Satprem was staying with hot chicken soup for Satprem. And as I was a new fellow in Ashram, so Satprem was very kind with me because he is senior fellow. His book has become world famous, Adventure of Consciousness. So till my hot flask is emptied in his flask, he used to chat with me to make me relax, young fellow. So 2 years that I worked with Goel, I gave hot soup to Satprem. After 2 years, my brain started working that I did so much work as an architect, this, that, all that, and already 2 years I'm doing kitchen work, this work, that work. So why not work in a drawing office with Vishwanath? So I met Vishwanath. This is my background. I have been on projects like right from Chennai and Bangalore to Delhi. I am going every once in a month in those Fokker planes. 10, 12 people going in a plane, small plane. I would like now to come into this line. So Vishwanath said, I will be very happy if a person like you qualified can come, but mother must approve. So I wrote a letter to the mother that now 2 years I have worked with Goel. Now I would like to go to Vishwanath, the drawing office. And he agrees to take me, provided you sanction. Then second para I wrote, but see, I have come without money, I have ran from home. I have no prosperity, nothing. So if prosperity is there, then otherwise what shall I do? There I was taking food in guest house. Here I will not get in dining room. I am not ashram member. Mother wrote, Vishwanath mother wrote, I allow you, Ramakant, to work with you. This thing mother wrote on that paper only. Harikant. Harikant was the prosperity chief. Later on he became managing trustee. Harikant, give prosperity to Ramakant from tomorrow. People were waiting 8 years, 10 years for prosperity waiting, and I got it in one day. And then now I had to quit the guest house. Where shall I stay? They put me corner park guest house, barracks were there. There was a proposal to have swimming pool with the sea water. So Manoranjan Ganguly had just built barracks for changing dress. This size rooms, changing dress. And there I had to stay there. And then how to come to drawing office from park guest house. So when Udar came to know that this Ramakant-bhai is from Goa, because Udar is from Goa originally, when they were converted and made Christians, then they went to Belgaum in the British territory. So when Udar came to know that I am from Goa, he was very happy. He immediately not only sanctioned me a cycle, but sports ground, that whole residential building was under Udar, not Pranabdar. He gave me a room there and a cycle. This is how it began. And then I stayed at sports ground for 12 years. And in between 1973, 17 November, when the mother passed away, how from the band house Montu was staying, he called me at night 12:30 and he said, Ramakant-bhai, your mother has passed away and we captains, I was table tennis captain, we captains have to go there to do lot of work is there. You immediately come. So I took out my cycle and came to Ashram. And door is only that much open. Nobody has told. First they have to inform the Lieutenant Governor of Pondicherry, Chedilal, that mother has passed away. First, according to the protocol, the Lieutenant Governor must go first. So he was removing shoes and he went and he paid her. Her body was already brought down by Pranabda and put there. And there 3 days we were working day and night, only going out for toilet and food. Lot of work was there because hundreds of people were pouring in till the mother's body was put above Sri Aurobindo's body. So it was like that. And then, as you know, Raman Reddy wanted to bring out a book on the whole history of the Sri Aurobindo Ashram, whole history. And he said, we require a lot of drawings. He had archives had a German photographer. He says, once in a week she will come and photograph what you have done, drawings. But can you do the drawings? So I said that I can do the drawings, but not during working time. Because when drawing opens office and people will come and put their head on my board and start talking, I cannot work. So 8 months I worked from morning 5 o'clock to 7:30 only on that job. And that job, Raman Reddy produced in this book.
Just hold it up. Yeah.
This book, this book carries 40 to 50 drawings of me, architectural drawings. 40 to 50 drawings are there. See the drawing. Like that all I have done. 40. Raman Reddy told me that not only the drawings, but you have to do research also. So I had to read 3-4 books available on the history of Pondicherry. That not only French, sometimes there were English, then French come, they drive out. Sometimes there is a Muslim kingdom here, then sometimes there is a Dutch kingdom here. And the whole Pondicherry town plans, roads which are so close to each other, were made by the Dutch people when they were, Pondicherry was under them, Dutch. And the streets are very close for cycle, horse cart, not for motor carts. Motor carts, accidents are too much because too much close roads. But it was made for that purpose. I had to do research and read a few books and write a thesis. And Raman was so happy. He said that what you have written about the history of Pondicherry is like from a big scholar. I had become a scholar by necessity. But the drawings that I did, I had to work with concentration like that, and so many innumerable drawings are there in this book. The cost of the book is some 700 rupees, and Raman gave me one as my personal, with best wishes from Raman, which I gave to Park Guest House Debashish when I stayed there doing COVID business. And then I felt that I want to study what I did that time. So somebody gave me money, so I purchased this book. So then I was staying in old Ambika house there, second floor, all that problems were there. At that time, and every year the table tennis tournament starts, Pranabda himself used to walk with me from PED office to judo once every year to encourage me. His policy was that whenever he gave work to somebody, he will give him full support and encouragement. Then when Corner House started, I asked Pranabda. He said, yes, you are qualified to eat there, and I started. Then I told Pranabda, see, dining room has got a big board and Sitaraman writes there. When you enter on the left side, there is a board, and Sitaraman writes from Life Divine, this, that, everything, and people, visitors come. I want to start a board in Corner House. He is always encouraging positive things, because I am doing it not by sacrificing something else, I am adding to my own work. He said, yes, but I give you a suggestion that Corner House is not same like dining room. So you see that the quotations are small. You must have noticed that for years the quotations are never exceeding 15 to 20 words. And 2.5 years I am here, I have already given him 100 every week, 100 weeks, I have given him 100 messages to Mahesh. He comes every week and he knows where I keep it. So he comes breakfast time and I am sitting there in breakfast and he will open the cupboard and he will take the paper kept for him. Now say, what sort of messages I select for Corners, you know very well. Now this message which he will come tomorrow or something, this message is saying that do not try to criticize too much yourself. Sri Aurobindo says, that will make you weak.
Read out.
Yeah. So in this message, Sri Aurobindo is saying, and this message is from correspondence with Nirodbaran. So it is always better to dwell on the good side of things in yourself. Repeating, it is always better to dwell on the good side of things in yourself with faith and cheerful confidence. You must have. That instead of trying to remember the mistake that we had made and all sorts of blunders that we have made, keep a positive attitude about yourself, not only about the world. So this is how I keep it ready in this. He knows it, picks it up and takes it. And then one lady comes and does drawing for him. That both I used to do before. And darshan days, I was not waiting next morning to do. I used to do at night. That is after dinner I used to do. So at night when everybody has cleared the corner of 8:30, then I used to start that board, writing the message and finishing it. By the time I finish, it used to be 11 o'clock night on darshan days. And then I am walking ashram side to go to Ambika house. Then Kailas-bhai had just finished his watering on the samadhi, and he would be back in his room by that time, 11:10, because 11 o'clock he has to vacate that. So Kailas-bhai would see from the window that I am going. So Kailas-bhai used to shout at me, Ramakant, barri. And he says, very nice mixture has come from Karnataka. Have and we will enjoy mixture and tea at 11:15 at night. And he used to come and open the school door and take me inside. And I used to have a nice time with him and go home and sleep at 12 o'clock. And Kailas-bhai's time, I enjoyed a lot. I learned some 15-20 words of Kannada, which I still use with people. There is one maid servant here who is mother tongue is Kannada, she is Christian. So I speak with her, Solpa Kodri, when I say, she understands. So this is how it was. And then later on, when Pranabda himself became old age problem, knee problems, his knee failed, and he was only in wheelchair. And he had no proper room. He was staying with his mother, he cannot climb up. So they had to make a room there in that house for him. Till that time he was accommodated by Praveen, which is now senior boys boarding. It was Praveen's sister's property. Praveen had accommodated him there and preparing food, everything for him as he likes. And then I had to go and meet him there, if any work is there. Work like, for example, once he called me and he said, Judo, Joseph says that instead of keeping 2 balls table tennis in the box, I should keep 3 balls. Because if the balls break, then better to extra. And I was thinking from a saving point of view, money. And I was refusing to keep extra. So Joseph had complained to Pranabda and he called me. He said, you don't bother about the expenses. That is our job. You put from tomorrow. And I started. And then Pranabda, I had a tremendous respect for Pranabda. That so much in his, you have read his books, I remember. Pranabda's book, very thick book is. I remember. Because every day like you, they were recording his memories, not with camera, but sound recording. And I have gone through all that. How mother taught him, personally sitting beside him and making sleep. And in sleep, how to leave the body and go to the other worlds. And again you must be able to enter that body. If you fail to enter that body, then people will come and say that gone, and you will be taken for cremation. Mother taught him personally. From that book I learned many things like that. And on my birthday, every year, like birthday today, I remember, every year I used to cottage a kaju box. One kaju box containing 25 toffees. I used to meet him in the morning, 7 o'clock, and give him, today is my birthday. And on his, before he passed away, when I had gone to him on his birthday, he said, thanks for the sweets, but he said, you listen to my music. And he played on this clarinet or what they call it. He played himself music. So, and Gangaram also had it, because Gangaram was bilingual. There are so many bilingual peoples are there. So Gangaram Marathi and Kannada both. So Gangaram used to speak with me in Marathi. If I have to go to prosperity cheat, I have to step down this way, that way, this way, that way. So I said, please accommodate me in care. But she knew that I am still able to walk this, that I am not needing some medical help every moment. She knew. So she said, you be ready whenever I call you, you must come. How much time you will need to come from? I said, you send the car and I'll be in 2 minutes in your car. And she said, Simachal is coming today. I waited at the gate, not even in my room. And she brought me there. And that room she gave me. Sharila, this is how I am able to read this, that, taking down notes. In this last few months, I have read all the K.R. Srinivas Iyengar's huge volumes of biography, first person to write biography of Sri Aurobindo. I read that I read another huge book of the mother. Such wonderful. And then when I read, there is no place here to keep, so already heap is there. I sent to the library on the first floor. I have to clear the place. And now every morning I spend 2 hours only on Savitri. That is 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. And from Savitri I select some 20 lines, selected lines, and give it to Richard's hand at 6 o'clock. And he loudly reads them in the proper way, as the poetry.
Why don't you read some Savitri lines?
Readings I cannot do as it should be.
Yes.
He knows it. Because what it needs is that poetical sound or vibration which must come in a poetry. I read it as a prose, but for substance. You say, now what I am finding is in my last 2.5 years in this part of the hospital, before they used to call it hospice, where the patients are kept. Now I find that how at every step the Divine Mother is active. Though the Divine Mother left her body in 1973, she only left her material body, which is put in Samadhi. But you can feel her here at every moment, and how she is helping you in small matters also. So here I am just enjoying seeing what she is doing. And I try to have a personal contact with her. How that this photo which she herself had autographed in the year 1962 and now 22, means 60 years has gone. She had autographed. That mother's autograph photo, I talk to that photo and that photo talks to me also. This is a very interesting thing.
Any one experience, concrete?
I had endless experiences in this place. I had about 100 spiritual experiences I had here, in this house. Very day they put me here, and morning Shalila came with the head nurse as usual, behind to take down notes. What doctor says, do this for him, give this. When they brought me from Park Guest House, and I was at the gate of this house, gate only, not even entered, and I found this house is not there at all. It is a huge body of the mother. The mother in her white dress as she used to wear for tennis. In that dress the mother is there, and her feet I am seeing entering her body, and her head is third floor. That means the mother's presence is so tremendous here. And then next morning when Dr. Shalila came with the nurse, nurse is behind her, and Shalila said, how are you? I said, fine. And between Shalila and the nurse, I am seeing the mother. Mother was physically there present, and mother is smiling at me and going. Like that, I am sitting outside there, and suddenly, like Kapali Shastri, I am seeing the mother is emerging from the basement. Big hole she has made, and flame of white light. Kapali Shastri had named it. The mother's body is rising from basement till the ceiling. And with amazement I am seeing. One night I am sleeping here at 1:30 at night. I am seeing image of a yogi here. And that image is asking me, you don't recognize me? I said, no. He says, I am MP Pandit, Madhav Pandit. When I was here, I was not having beard and all that. But I am a great Rishi. And I had come here to do only mother's work. Now I am back in my region. So I am speaking from there to you. Then last week, Ramakrishna Das Babaji Maharaj of Orissa people, last week only he appeared, just as you are sitting here, and I am sitting here, and he appeared here. And he was smiling at me, because he knew that I am trying to do Nama Japa, which he was so much recommending. And he knew that I am sincerely doing Nama Japa. And he is so pleased with my effort. So like that. Such a heap of experiences I gave to Pranati. And she said, Ramakant-bhai, this is beyond our limit. We cannot print it. Then she brought the whole heap back to me of experiences. Aurobindo Hospital, I went there, I find that Sri Aurobindo's metal statue is turning his head to look towards me. And I'm stuck up there. And the sister in charge, Babita, says, what, you have stopped here, the line you have stopped, big line, and I lost my mind in seeing Sri Aurobindo's metal statue is turning. I mean, then she gave me that whole heap of my experiences. And I sat half an hour, and every paper I torn it and put in the dustbin. Such a heap of experiences. And then yesterday I found out Prayers and Meditation book, the last page are Sri Aurobindo's letters on prayer and meditation. There Sri Aurobindo is clearly saying that such experiences, occult experiences, is part of sadhana. That means there is nothing wrong in if I am having it. He himself says it is part of sadhana. And it happens to everybody at his own need which she feels. Now I am not much getting, this is the Ramakrishna Das, Babaji Maharaj was the latest. And that Madhav Pandit was there. And then every night I lie down at 8 o'clock and get up at 2 o'clock every morning. From 2:30 to 4:30 is my Savitri reading. And that Savitri reading, I do it as in the Vedic time they used to do yajna, no? They used to put the fire and they have to put ghee there, and every mantra they have to do properly. Like that, I do my Savitri reading, everything as if it is a yajna going on. And I become a priest to do the yajna. So this is how it. You see, now the question of progressing is not there. Progressing, because there is no end to the progress. Now the life has this. I must not say egoistically, but to tell you frankly, my life is now in her hands and not in my hands. It is she who is keeping me alive. It is she who makes me understand what I am reading. And every week, last 2.5 years, every week I am able to give him a message. And so much huge quantity of books I am reading. And she is making me understand. I pray to the mother every morning. Mother, we human beings, ordinary level, we do not know, I do not know what is poetry, how to read poetry, what is the music involved in poetry, I know nothing. But your grace must, my mother is keeping me very happy. To conclude the thing, she is keeping me happy and I have no complaints about anything in life.